Okay, so welcome back if you're coming back, and welcome if it's your first time. So there is sort of like a setup of a fraud done by some group of people of about $25 million of worth of money that had been stolen. And some people are trying to set that up to look as if you did that or was part of it. And something to do with international money transactions. So try being mindful of your surroundings. Be very careful of how you go about your days. So this setup where you have a copycat who poses as you wherever and whenever an organization need them to be. And this copycat looks more bigger than you physically actually. They are your copycat in the sense of that they use your credentials to do anything they want in their life or for whatever command they get from their superiors. And at the same time, for some of you, they are trying to copy your personality, that in the sense that some of your works that are done, they want to claim them and say it belonged to them, and that you are the fake one and the one who copied them. So for when they use your credentials, like for example, they open accounts in your name and do transactions of fraud, money, making it look as if it was you who had been doing those transactions, and they get deposits of the money and withdraw in various numbers and transfer the money to other accounts in other places or other countries. By doing this, they want to cut off the thread of transactions so that it won't be tracked. When they deposit the cash somewhere else where they would be using the money they took, which they had taken with your credentials, they deposit with other names when they are depositing in other accounts. I mean, they cash out in your name but transfer the cash to other banks in their names and make it look as if they got the money from their relatives as gifts. This reminds me of, for example, when my ex used to withdraw from my account and deposit to his account. And that way he could claim that he had the money and I didn't have the money. The transaction to his account was never done through accounts that would have been tracked. And so this is how the fraud is being done. Your account can be tracked, but when they cash and deposit somewhere else, it won't be tracked or traced on their side, because it's not from your account to theirs. Money is only seen as being cashed out, and it could easily be said that you did it because the account is in your credentials. If you have had any identity theft before, which is what they had done, and using your credentials they will try doing, or maybe even have done and gained so many things through fraud by just using your name. Look up your accounts and look for any suspicious activities. You might see huge amounts that you don't know where it came from. Or you might see some withdrawals that had been attempted, but if you had changed your everything, they might not get to be able to withdraw from your account. So just take precautions if you were scammed before. Cancel your old cards and change your passwords in accounts made. Or rather, even possible, you might have had some money. They don't want me to speak this. Maybe you might have had some money sent to you by someone who was like you knew, but that money actually was stolen money. Later, if you use that money, they will report it as fraud, that you used their persons to steal money from the company. If you find anything suspicious, immediately report it to the authorities. There is something like you might be or have been invited to an event opportunity, and they would try to replace you with the copycat to go to that event in your place and pose as you using your persona. And they are going to use this to keep the copycat at bay while they set you up for fraud. So for example, you might get invited to go somewhere. For example, it might be an international event like a United Nations invite, and you would be among other group of people whom you might have met but not actually really knowing these people. They will try so hard to make you distracted to make you get distracted by doing weird activities so that you end up seeming as if you were careless and irresponsible. Example, you might be getting ready to board the plane and standing in line. You might feel like you lost some cash, which before they might have bumped into you and displaced the cash meant for entrance. For example, it's money meant for visa to wherever you are going. And while you look among your things, you might not find it. And as you search, you start seeing things that don't belong to you, like some other cash you didn't have before. They will try and get you distracted and move away from the line so that they could steal your things and displace them somewhere else, where later on they would be found together with stolen stuff in them, which they would have put inside. I know it sounds too fantastical, but these people are really having a great imagination to do whatever it takes to get you into trouble just because they don't want you being happy. They go to extreme lengths just because they want to do some swapping with your copycat. And they will try to make you miss the opportunity, whatever it was, and replace you with a copycat in your place, where they were actually trying to make look like you were cheating, replacing yourself with someone else while trying to steal money at the same time. Or they will try to represent the copycat as you. And because you might have a report somewhere going on around you, they will try to show as if you were just a fraud or a fake thing, so that later on they could use this to report you and say you stole money and it was in your belongings. They will try to make it seem that you were incapable of that opportunity. And that the copycat was the real deal for the opportunity. While it was not true, the copycat is the one who is copying you. They are behind scenes stalking your moves to see where you are going, what you do, and monitor your normal activities. I'm not saying be paranoid, but look around you for any suspicious activities. Like it might be that you enter a market and always there would be someone who comes after your entrance. And when you check out, they would be asking quite casual questions about you to the people working there. And some of the workers are getting alerted about this. They are seeing this as suspicious. There are two types of people stalking on you. One group is there to keep an eye on you for any suspicious activity, either to protect you or they were alerted about you with lies of defamation. And the other is there to collect information about you and use it against you. And these are the fraudsters. And so this is how some destiny swapping also could be made, by getting you into trouble and replace you with someone else to take your opportunities and trying to make people you are supposed to be dealing with to think they were the real deal and that you were incapable of these or those opportunities, by creating a lot of setups and mishaps in your life, making you lose your valuables or something. So be careful, look around you. If you have had to deal with toxic people and walked away from, some toxics just won't let go of anything because they just might want to take revenge and go to extremes, creating scenarios worth the film's nominations. And for some of you, these copycats are people you knew from past, and you might be surprised that they turn out to be also close relatives or far-off cousins you have not spoken to for a long time. Their only aim is just to use you and make you a scapegoat so that they could get to succeed in life by siphoning from you whatever it takes. And they're being helped by people who have agendas against you. They don't know that they will be caught and all their efforts are going to be in vain, or maybe even backfired long time ago. They are caught, or maybe will be caught one by one and sent to prison. Some will end up in spiritual prison too and won't enjoy anything they had stolen. It's sad, but it is what it is. Pray to God to keep you always safe and prevent and block all their efforts to try and destroy you. And maybe some will get conscious and do the right thing and collaborate and give in all the fraudsters. By the way, this is important. You have to remember, you are being cautioned to know that there are camera recordings everywhere. And so if anything like this ever happens, just ask for camera recordings of the spots that the authorities think you had been standing or you were during those times the fraud was being made, or when they were trying to pretend that they were you and taking your place. Because there is definitely a record showing their activities, and I hope the authorities take this into consideration. So that had been one crazy message to make you aware of what is going on. So that's all for now, and I hope this helps someone. So till next time, with much love, have a lovely day and God bless.